Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm making a Q&A video. I asked you guys to ask me some questions through Instagram, and a lot of them were of the same kind, like why did you move to Sweden, or some stuff about coronavirus or about language and so on. So I will pick up some of them and I will respond to it. So let's get started. So the first question by Janelle Otero: top 3 tips you'd give to someone new to Stockholm or moving there. The top 3 tips. Actually, it's really personal thing, I would say, and I will try to pick up something that would work for everyone. The first thing I would say, you have to have a reason enough to move to Sweden, to move to Stockholm or something, because never move just because of trying, you know, because it's really tough. It's so tough, you know, unless you have a lot of money and you can sustain and maintain yourself. Don't move here because it's so hard. Like it's extremely hard. You just start your life from zero, and it's really hard to find a job, integrate, learn a language. It's so hard. Like I'm just talking from like my own experience. My reason is I moved to someone, but it doesn't mean that it's easier. It's tough, and your just life starts from zero. And yeah, my first tip would be have a reason enough to move here. The second reason is if you're already here. The second tip: if you are already here in Stockholm, learn the language. If you plan to be here for a long term, if you want to live here, learn the language, because of course Swedes speak English super well, like they are almost native, you know, they sound native, and but if you want to integrate, you need to speak Swedish, so start learning Swedish. And the third tip is don't get stressed about stuff. Everything takes its time. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't push yourself. Don't be tough to yourself, because stuff takes time. You know, you have to understand that it's new country. It's hard. So just learn the language, try to meet new friends. The second question would be by Scherer: is it possible to make new friends during Covid-19 restrictions in Sweden? I would say, unless you you can use social media to make friends, but new restrictions say that you should only hang out with your people, you know, like your family, your close ones, and avoid meeting other people that are not from your family circle, because there are more cases here in Sweden. So it's a bit tough now, but it's not impossible, of course. You always can use social media, Instagram, or I don't know, dating app or something. You can type and so on, but for now people just try to avoid meeting others, you know, try to not to hang out with people that are not your family. Next question, Ale Basker: ¿hay algún acento en el español que se te complique un poco más en entender? Which means, is there any accent in Spanish language that would be complicated to get? I would say no. I understand 100% all the accents in Spanish, like Northern, or from Andalusia, you know, south of Spain. But I remember when I moved to Spain, and I was learning Spanish, and I don't know, I couldn't understand people from like Seville or Cordova, you know, southern, you know, it was so hard, because to me they were like eating a half of a word, like saying some kind of, they sounded funny to me and I couldn't get them, like it's okay, no entiendo, no. Something like that, you know. But now I understand all the accents. I absolutely speak fluently. I mean, it has been like 17 years, so it's a long time to have any problems with Spanish, I would say. Sharer again, can you live in Sweden without knowing how to speak Swedish? This is a bit tricky question, but of course you can live without speaking Swedish. For example, if you're into IT, you don't really need Swedish. But of course, if you want to live in the long term here and you want to integrate and form part of Swedish society, at the end you have to speak Swedish because it forms part of a culture. So to respond to your question, yeah, you can be here without Swedish, but at the end you would need it, you know. So yeah. Next question by Bernel87. Why did you move to Sweden? And did you come to Sweden with your boyfriend or did you meet in Sweden? No, we met in Barcelona, Spain. And I moved to Sweden because of my boyfriend. So he is basically the reason why I moved to Sweden. But to be honest, I must say that I wouldn't move to Sweden if it wouldn't be because of him. Because as I said previously, it's really hard here. It's extremely hard if you don't have a job, or if you don't have reason enough. It's just not smart to move here. It's because it's really hard. Like it's your life starts from zero, and why would someone move why would you move from your country to Sweden if you were stable there? Like, so yeah, unless you want to experience travel around, and unless you have a lot of money, then you can leave. But yeah, I think I wouldn't have moved to Sweden if it wouldn't have been for my boyfriend, or unless I get like a job offer or a relocation or something. So yeah. Bukova8 asked me in Russian. Чем шведский менталитет отличается от русского, особенности их стиля жизни? Oh my god, this is so funny. Because to me Russians and Swedes are really different. To me Russians they like big things. They like to show up. They find their pride into being tough and mighty. And Scandinavians, or Swedes, they find their pride into harmony and solving problems in a peaceful way. I would say they are lagom, as they say, not too little, not too much, just enough. They are more laid back in all ways. You can see it into decoration, into how they dress, how they talk to you, and so on. They are really laid back, really calm, and like really Pacific. And Russians, I would say, they're really like rough, like tough, and like really, you know, strong opinion. And yeah, and I really think that it's just because it's really cultural difference, and it also has to do with the history. Of course, Russians had to defend themselves, defend the country. They were involved in wars and problems much more than Swedes. So I guess it really affects the cultures and mentality. When you have to defend yourself, you have to So yeah, I would say this one is a difference between Swedes and Russians. Which doesn't mean that they are bad, or it doesn't mean that someone is better than someone else. It doesn't mean that Swedes are better or Russians are worse. It's just different, absolutely. Madame with hat says, вважаю, що ви крута. Я ледь з англійською вправляюсь, а вісім мов це взагалі. Which means I consider that you're cool, and for me it's really tough with English, and it's really cool that you speak 7 languages. Thank you so much. And I must say that it's really hard to speak those languages, especially it's really hard to maintain them at the same level. It's really hard to not to forget, so you always have to speak it, read, and so on. So I use Spanish, I use Ukrainian, Russian, I don't know, just not to forget, because if you don't use it at the end, you forget the language, and yeah, it's like, then it's not so nice. I would say. Joy Davis ask me, did you find the tunnelbana? Tunnelbana is metro in Swedish. Did you find the tunnelbana a bit confusing to begin with? No, I would say it was pretty easy. I would say even the metro in Barcelona is bigger. So to me, Swedish, like metro in Stockholm, was not so tough to get. But I remember the first time I took a metro, there were two stops that to me sounded really similar, like Hjulsta and Huvudsta metro stations, and to me it sounded really similar, and I remember I took the wrong line, and yeah, I mean the names were a bit tricky to get, but yeah, it was not so tough to get. I mean, I would say the metro in Barcelona is much bigger, and yeah, it's tougher to get. So that was it, you guys. I hope you guys like this kind of content, so you get to know me better. I think it's a really spontaneous thing to make this kind of Q&A, and like it feels like talking to you, and so you get to know me as well, and you can relate. So yeah. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, or yeah, say something, ask me something. I would appreciate it, and I would definitely respond to all your questions. And thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!